welcome to the kickoff of our segment, Planning with Sheila. Sheila Samuels, Law Firm LLC, Protection, Preservation, Peace of Mind. Good evening, Sheila. How are you?
Good evening, Lady D. How about yourself?
I am good. I've been here since 6 o'clock and I've been touting, promoting, talking about you, and letting everyone know that there's a new segment here on Inside the Zone with Lady D called Planning with Sheila. Protection, preservation, peace of mind. And now you're here. They're hearing your voice live. I'm streaming via Facebook and I'm on our website, www.linkageradio.com. And we are going to get all the information we need this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sheila, say hello and just welcome everybody to the kickoff of your segment here on the show, Inside the Zone with Lady D.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for listening this evening. As Lady D mentioned, my name is Sheila Samuels. I am the principal attorney of the Samuels Law Firm. We have offices in Mount Vernon, New York at 11 West Prospect Avenue, as well as an office in Hackensack, New Jersey. And at the Samuels Law Firm, as Lady D mentioned, we are really about protection, preservation, and peace of mind. And we help individuals and families create a comprehensive estate plan so that as they age, they can avoid the overwhelming and crushing costs of long-term care. We represent the elderly and individuals with disabilities. We help families create a plan that is of their own choice, and it allows them to age with dignity and a peace of mind. A plan that...
All right, thank you so much. The telephone numbers to call during the segment, ladies and gentlemen, 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. This evening's presentation, Sheila, you'll be talking about estate planning and administration, long-term care planning, as well as education law and special needs planning. So we are going to be starting our conversation now, wrapping up at about 5 minutes to 8 o'clock. So as much information as you can pass on to our audience, they will appreciate it greatly. So go ahead and start talking and sharing.
Sure. So, oftentimes when I speak at local events or at seminars or I do any webinars, one of the first things that people always will ask me, or they're wondering, why should they care about creating an estate plan? And so I'd like to share this story with the listeners. I had a family member who, him and his wife, they migrated to this country from Jamaica. They had 6 children. As a little girl growing up in the Bronx, I used to spend many weekends and Sundays at their home. We would have family dinners. They would plan different events for the extended family to come over. And then one year, my family member ended up in the hospital, complaining about a pain in his right foot. And he never had suffered from any diabetes or high blood pressure, any type of sugar-related issues. But lo and behold, he was being told that his foot was going to have to be amputated because his toe had developed gangrene. And after some tests were ran and they, did some further assessments, the doctors came back and said, well, it's not your foot, it's actually going to be an above-the-knee amputation. And the entire family was devastated because, again, we never saw this happening based on my family member's, good bill of health that he had his entire life.
Yes.
And what happens after that is, well, what's going to happen to my family member with, the care that he's now going to need? Would he be able to come back home? And what I saw really was that my family members who would plan these elaborate parties, these elaborate dinners and vacations, they had not planned for the possibility of any disability or even the aging process.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things that I always talk to my clients about, as well as attendees to any seminars that I speak at, is that you really need to think about creating a comprehensive estate plan. A lot of people think that they don't have any assets and that there's nothing that they need to leave behind. And I always tell them that if you really sit back and take inventory of your life, your property, your family and so forth, you'll find that there is a reason to create an estate plan. And, quite honestly, some of the documents that go into creating a comprehensive estate plan actually deal more with what happens to you during your lifetime as opposed to what happens once you pass away.
Right.
And so, some of the reasons why I encourage people to create an estate plan, number one is really control, right? It's best that you get to have a say over who's going to share into your estate, who's going to oversee your estate as, once you pass away, and if an estate needs to be probated or administered, or even if we're talking about, matters that are occurring during your lifetime, who's going to help you with your day-to-day matters should you no longer have the ability to do so. And so by making the effort rather, and taking those steps to create your own comprehensive estate plan, you get to have a control and say over what's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things I'd like to also discuss today is, well, what exactly do we mean by because, again, I often meet clients and individuals who they've heard of a will, but they're not sure exactly if they need one. Maybe they've heard of a trust. They've heard of a power of attorney. Maybe even they've been an agent for someone under a power of attorney, but they don't quite understand how all of these documents really work to create this comprehensive estate plan for themselves. And so when we talk about creating an estate plan, it's really about 5 essential documents. And my plan is, over the course of the next few segments, I could certainly get into a lot of these documents in more detail.
Yes.
But just in a general sense, I'd like to let the listeners know exactly what are we doing when we create this estate plan. And so we typically are looking at 4 to 5 essential documents, and everything is based on a person's particular circumstances. But one document in particular that we always recommend that we include in a person's estate plan is a durable power of attorney. And so, maybe your listeners are like, well, what is a power of attorney? Maybe some of them understand it. Again, we'll get into those particulars. In addition to a durable power of attorney, we also recommend a durable healthcare proxy. We recommend a living will, a last will and testament, as well as a trust if that is going to be appropriate.
Yeah.
And so, with the durable power of attorney, the reason why this particular document is so important to estate planning is because it allows you to appoint someone to make decisions on your behalf during your lifetime. And the type of decisions that you are allowing this other person to make for you typically will deal with financial matters. So banking transactions, maybe you own property, so real estate transactions. Maybe there is a life insurance policy. They would, your agent under your power of attorney would be able to handle insurance transactions on your behalf. If there's any litigation that you may want to start or that you're involved in, your agent under the power of attorney, if you give them that power, that's something that they'd be able to do for you on your behalf. But as a long-term care planning attorney, one of the primary reasons why we like a comprehensive power of attorney is because as an individual ages, their needs are going to change.
Yes.
And one of the needs may be, will this individual need long-term care? And if you need long-term care, how are you going to finance it? And so we look at a comprehensive power of attorney as helping us do what we call nursing home planning, which would also include Medicaid planning as a way to finance the cost of nursing home care or maybe even care in the home. And so when a prospective client comes to me and maybe they want to do some estate planning, but we are trying to do a comprehensive power of attorney, and let's say maybe they were diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease maybe a year or so ago, and so much time has passed, and now their mental capacity is limited, and they really don't understand the nature of a power of attorney or the consequences of signing a power of attorney. Unfortunately, the only option for their family may be to go to court to obtain a guardianship over this person.
Yes.
And doing a guardianship proceeding can be time-consuming, especially if we're talking about a crisis situation, and it can also be expensive because a lot of families, they don't feel equipped to handle this on their own, and then they need to retain an attorney to do so, and that is going to end up costing additional money and time, as opposed to if this power of attorney was done in a timely manner while the person had the necessary capacity.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me, welcome to the segment. It's the first Thursday feature of the show here inside the Zone with Lady D, and the segment is called Planning with Sheila. Sheila Samuels, she's an attorney of the Samuels Law Firm, LLC, and her motto is protection, preservation, peace of mind. This evening she's giving a brief outline as to the line of discussions she'll be having here on the show going forward, starting off with estate planning and administration, long-term care planning, as well as education law and special needs planning. Now, Sheila, coincidentally, there's a good friend of mine. We went to high school together, and about 2 years ago, he got one of his leg amputated with the very similar occurrence. Because about, say, a year prior to it happening, we were out at an event having a good time, and then he was having some pains in his leg because he's a diabetic, and he was having some pains in his legs, and when he got to the hospital and they made the assessment and so on, they realized that gangrene was just traveling all the way up, and they had to amputate right above the knee. What? We were so stunned by it. So I know that you were intentional in opening your line of argument and reasoning and presentation with that, because at any given time anything can happen to us.
Absolutely, Lady D. And what we know from a lot of the studies that have been conducted with respect to the aging population,
yes,
most studies are consistent in showing that 1 in 2 people will need some type of long-term care. We also know that the type, the frequency, and percentage of people who will need long-term care increases greatly for persons over the age of 70. We also know, based on a Department of Health and Human Services survey, that approximately 70% of all people over the age of 65 will need some type of long-term care. And even if you factor in the Alzheimer's factor, every 70 seconds, someone in America develops Alzheimer's. And the Alzheimer's Association even has said at one point by 2050, approximately 16 million Americans could possibly have Alzheimer's. And so we know that the possibility of developing a disability is there. And we also know that people are very uncomfortable with speaking about death or thinking about death. People also, when you're healthy, you're not thinking about coming down with a disability, right? It's not even something that you consider. You may think about retirement, and when you're thinking about retirement, you're thinking about traveling, spending time with a significant other or spouse and so forth, grandchildren and what have you. But you really need to be thinking about creating an estate plan that includes those 5 documents that I mentioned, and really taking inventory of everything. You know, another reason, even if you're not thinking about the possibility of disability, is avoiding family conflict. I can't begin to tell you, because we also handle probate and administration cases, and as I mentioned, for any listeners who are just joining us, when we talk about probate and administration, that is the process that a decedent's estate, a person who passes away, that's when you try to get their estate in order, and you would distribute any inheritances to people who have been listed in their will, or maybe if they died without a will, it was passed in accordance with the New York State intestacy law. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've seen family conflict where proper planning had not been done. And people, a lot of clients have said to me, well, I'm not married, I just have children, so I don't need to worry about creating a plan. That's a false misconception. You know, yes, under the intestate law, your children will likely inherit your entire estate, but at the same time, what about who you would want to oversee the handling of your estate? You know, you would want to have an executor or administrator who's responsible, who you know would handle your affairs accordingly. What if there is a charity that's near and dear to your heart, and you wanted to make sure that that charity had received something from your estate? You're not going to be able to accomplish that without creating a plan to do so. They're not going to be entitled to receive anything under the intestacy law. So, you know, avoiding family conflict, and again, making sure that what happens with your estate and what happens to you during your lifetime is what you really want. You know, I always say control and having a say and peace of mind should be the primary reasons why everyone should be concerned with creating a comprehensive estate plan.
Absolutely, and we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. I do have some of my Facebook friends who have logged on, and they are commending you for the vital information that you are presenting to the audience this evening, Sheila, and we really appreciate it. There are persons, sometimes we procrastinate a lot. You know, we're always thinking, tomorrow we'll get to it, and then before you know it, nothing happens, and something happens, and it's not taken care of.
Yes, and I have seen just about every possible scenario where that has happened. You know, I recently met with someone, he has 6 children. He appeared to have the capacity to do the planning. You know, he owns some property in New York, real property, as well as some financial accounts. And at the time that we thought we were going to be able to do planning for him, it turns out that he really does not understand what we were trying to do. And because of that, we were unable to create his estate plan through the traditional way where he gets to tell us everything. And now, unfortunately, he has learned that he has a terminal illness. And so his family now is looking to file a guardianship petition in order to gain control over his affairs during his lifetime. But again, if you have to go the guardianship route, then, you know, obviously that means that you failed to do the planning, or sometimes the planning could have been done, but maybe the planning documents are not comprehensive enough. And in particular, I'm referring to a durable power of attorney, or maybe even the healthcare proxy that was created. In New York State, there is a statutory power of attorney form, but you really need to add additional powers for your agent under the power of attorney for it to really work when we do long-term care planning. So, you know, I encourage your listeners, especially now with it being the end of the year. It's always a good time to think about creating your estate plan, but particularly at the end of the year when we're moving into a new season, you really should sit down and think about it. Ask yourself, who would you want to inherit from your estate? Do you have anything of value that you'd like to see a particular person receive?
Right.
Is there any charitable organizations you'd like to donate to? What type of end-of-life care decisions would I want made for me if I'm unable to do so myself?
Mm-hmm.
You know, really sit down and give this some thought, because I got to tell you, the power is in the planning.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a chance to have a say and control over your affairs, that's the power. You don't want your power taken away by the courts deciding who can manage your day-to-day affairs or oversee your estate. You should be the person to make those decisions, not the court or some other third party who does not know you.
Absolutely. Such vital information again, Sheila. Planning with Sheila, right here on Inside the Zone with yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. And Sheila will be back in the month of January, the first Thursday in the month of January 2019. And that's when we're going to have all of our listeners calling in. Make your notes, ladies and gentlemen, and you can pose your questions to her and she will be able to answer them. Sheila, could you remind the audience where you are located?
Yes. So our firm is located at 11 West Prospect Avenue on the 3rd floor in downtown Mount Vernon. We are catty corner to the courthouse. It's right off of Gramerton. And we also have an office located at 210 River Street, Suite 32 in Hackensack, New Jersey. And you can also look us up online at www.SheilaSamuelsLaw.com.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, take note. First Thursday in the month of January 2019, Planning with Sheila. Sheila, I just love that. Remember, we were trying to figure out what should the segment be called, and you came up with this idea, so kudos to you. Very catchy.
Absolutely. Actually, Lacey, kudos to my 8-year-old. She is the one that came up with the idea.
Oh, nice. Well, kudos to her. All right. Well, we appreciate you and thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you in the month of January for the new year.
I am as well. It was great to provide this information to your listeners. I really hope they found it beneficial, and I look forward to expanding more on the 5 essential documents that we all should have in our comprehensive estate plan.
All the best.
Good night, everyone, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. All the best.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 7:53 p.m. here inside the zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Of course, we are streaming live on Sign FM 88.9, Fever FM 97.7, and Touch FM Radio 90.1. Wrapping up the show at 8 o'clock. Gonna say thanks to all those of you who stopped by on the Facebook Live, and I'd like to mention you by name. So let me do so now before I close it out. Want to say good evening to Aymar and Heather McLaughlin, Michael Andrade Williams, and Andre Anderson. Who else is here? Mr. Powell, ex-doll, stopped by. I hope you're well, Mr. Powell. Jilly, Laverne Costello, Ricky Chin, Leroy Grandison, who I know back in the day, Tyrone Sr., hey, Carl Mitchell, Patricia Highly Favored Benjamin, and she, by the way, is in England. So, thank you, Patricia. Nadine McLaughlin, Pastor Millwood, Audrey Lee Gale, Rob Lowe, hi, and our dear Patricia, right here in Mount Vernon, New York, and my cousin Nikki, Nicole Thomas in Trinidad, and to Margie, how are you? And to Angela, that's to Shawajella, I believe, right? Shawa, I believe it's you. To Betty, hello to you. And who else do I have here? And to my cousin Wayne over there in Trinidad as well. And that's about it. So those of you who stopped by, those of you on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7, 88.9, 97.7, 90.1, you got the information. Make your notes and let's start putting things in place. We never know. So to the Facebook audience, I'm going to be closing out now, as I'm going to be playing some selections, but I really do not wish to get caught into this this segment here. So I'm going to wish you a great weekend, and thank you for stopping by with me.